After a buyer has completed checkout on your website with Amazon Pay, you can find information about that transaction and perform different actions on the Manage Transactions page in Seller Central. This video provides a quick introduction to the features of the Manage Transactions page. Make sure you've selected Amazon Pay Production View in the drop-down menu in Seller Central. Click Orders and then click Manage Transactions. The table on that page shows data related to the transactions you received. You will find the date when the order was placed, the name the buyer uses for their Amazon account, the buyer's email address, the total amount the buyer authorized, the total amount you charged the buyer, the total amount you refunded to the buyer if there is any, the Amazon reference ID, which is the unique identifier for the transaction, the merchant order ID, which is the reference ID provided either by you or your e-commerce solution, and the payment status that shows you whether a transaction is open, closed, canceled, or suspended. To see whether or not a payment has been collected, take a look at the amount in the total charged column. On the right side, you find the action column. Click the action dropdown for a transaction to issue refunds, collect payment, close payment, or to contact the buyer. To find a specific transaction, you can filter transactions either by payment status or by payment date. By default, the Manage Transactions page shows transactions from the last 6 months. You can also select to only show transactions from the last 7 days, the last 30 days, or you can filter by specific dates. The date you enter must be within the last 6 months. You can also search the transaction by the Amazon reference ID. To search for transactions using the buyer's email address or your merchant order ID, select what you want to search for from the drop-down list next to the search box. Please note that search results using the buyer email and merchant order ID will only show transactions that occurred during the selected payment date range. To see more details related to a specific transaction, click the Amazon reference ID to take you to the payment details page. The payment details page shows buyer details, including the shipping address. Click the buyer's name to contact the buyer via email. The page also shows additional information related to your shop, a transaction summary, and the transaction history. To see additional details for each transaction step, click the individual rows in the transaction history. And that wraps up our Managed Transactions overview video. Thanks for watching.